Hello and welcome to Pop Culture. Let's try this again. Hello and welcome to Pop Culture Shark. I'm Final Monkey.
And I'm Caleb. We are pre-recording this. Do you want to start over?
No. We keep it all in.
All right.
We are professionals. We keep it all in there. Uh, this is going to be a recorded show today, so this will
Yeah.
not be like our typical show. But I'm
Yeah.
going to pretend like Tripping Orc is making witty comments throughout. So
Yeah. I want to go ahead and say, hey, tripping work, because I always do. Um. So yeah, this is a pre-recorded show. We're recording this on Saturday, the day before our shows usually are, because I believe you've got something with robots, right?
yeah, my son's in a JROTC robot competition tomorrow, so we're gonna go out there and support that and support the rise of Skynet and all that
Yeah.
good
So
stuff.
so anyone who has a problem with AI, you can blame his son. Uh,
Yes, yeah, he's the mastermind.
oh man, what was his name? Miles something in T2. I
Oh
can't think
man,
of his name.
that's been 30 years. I don't remember his name.
Oh man, I remember his first name is Miles. And I used to watch T2 like once a week, dude.
Oh, okay,
Miles Bennett, that's what it was.
okay. Yeah,
It was
I've
it,
I've maybe seen Terminator 2 maybe twice if you're lucky. I know I've seen it once, but it's been a long time.
at one point, it was like legitimately my favorite movie.
Oh, it's
It's
a great
probably
one.
it's
Yeah.
probably ooh, that's an interesting thing that you have to like gun to my head. My favorite James Cameron film, I couldn't tell you. Like, it's like a five-way tie.
Hmm.
um, but yeah,
Does Alita count as a James Cameron movie?
uh, I'm talking more directorial
Yeah,
stuff.
I know.
But I mean, case in point, honestly, Alita's more of a Robert Rodriguez film in my eyes.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I
Um,
agree. I agree.
especially if you watch Spy Kids 3 back to back with it, I'm like, oh, this is the same movie except Alita's good. Because even like the murder ball thing, that's like straight out of Spy Kids 3. I know, I know it was in the manga, but
Yeah.
um, I don't know. Have we heard anything about we're not at news yet, but have we heard anything about Alita 2? Like,
Not recently. Just Robert Rodriguez and James Cameron both said, yeah, it's happening, but that's about it. It's kind of in limbo, and I get annoyed when people say that because James Cameron, I don't expect him to die tomorrow, but he's not getting any younger.
yeah.
So
Speaking of, so it's actually been a while since I've seen it. Uh, did Christoph Waltz's character die in it?
refresh my memory. Which character was he?
He was the dad. He was
Oh
like
no,
the
he survived. Yeah, he
okay.
survived.
He I don't know his name. He was Geppetto. I don't
Yeah.
know. Okay, gotcha.
No, he survived.
Well,
Her boyfriend did not survive, but spoilers. Sorry,
yeah.
Hugo.
uh,
That was her boyfriend's name. He didn't make it.
was Ajax in it?
Yes? Question mark.
Ed Screen. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He was. Okay. I
Yeah,
thought
that movie
Ajax.
has a great cast. There's a lot of
Jack.
people in that movie.
Here's the thing. You know that you've got a like an underground sci-fi film that like nobody saw if you cast Jackie Earl Haley in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Casper Van Diemen's in it. He's only in it for like three
what?
seconds, but
I was about to say
he's
was.
in it. Yeah, he's the one that kills the doctor's daughter in the flashback.
Okay. I forgot that Mahershala Ali was the bad guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's in this movie. It's a great one.
When did it? I gotta see when it came out.
Came out at the same time as Captain Marvel, like the same month as Captain Marvel.
Oh, gotcha. Well, and not only that, it's also a February movie, which it's hard to like make money in February anyway.
again, at the same time as a Marvel movie, yes, the fact that it made 400 million or whatever it made is incredible, and most movies would kill to make that amount of money right now.
Yeah.
So
I mean, my favorite movie of all time, or at least one of them, is The Nice Guys, which I still haven't made you watch yet. Um, and that came out the same, like I think it came out like the week before or the week after Civil War.
and Angry Birds or something also came out
Yeah,
that week. I
yeah,
was reading, yeah,
right. Well, and so that's the interesting thing because they've got the Fall Guy coming out. So Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling are doing like their rounds, and they were asked, what sequel they would like to do. Emily Blunt says she'd like to do an Edge of Tomorrow sequel, which I'm all for. I loved Edge of Tomorrow. And then Ryan Gosling said that he'd like to do a Nice Guys, but it's never happening because Angry Birds beat them. So
yeah.
that's sad because like the thing is with the Nice Guys and um, like I said, I want to make you watch that at some point. Uh, it's a great movie, but it also seems like there's no sequel baiting. Like it's a complete thing.
Yeah.
The next one it would just be the next case. It
Right.
would be it would
Right.
be
Right.
episode 2. Kind of like, I mean, obviously I was gonna say it's like Lethal Weapon 2 because Shane Black wrote both of them. um, so yeah, I mean, like it doesn't need a sequel, but like the next case. That's all I want. Um, but cool. So yeah, we can go ahead and get into our yes, tripping work. I also think that Ryan Gosling is the greatest actor of our generation.
I don't know about that, but yeah, go ahead.
um anyway, so yeah, this is a pre-recorded thing, so we're gonna miss one day out of our weekend checkup. Uh, But what's actually? Do you want to do weekend checkup, or do you want to go straight into news and then weekend checkup's like the rest of the show?
I think it's the rest of the show because it's going to be what we're going to be talking about anyways.
Okay,
So
all right. So as far as news, let's see. So Maria, from Sonic Adventure 2, she did get space aids.
I
I
was
was
right. Yes.
you were right. You were right. She gets some sort of space aids, in the Shadow the Hedgehog game.
Yeah. It's. I mean, it's not called AIDS, but some immune disease.
Yeah,
Something. It's very
neuro
similar.
neuroimmunodeficiency syndrome.
Yeah. So yes, she got
Uh,
AIDS from kissing hedgehogs or something.
yeah, yeah. So watch out, Princess Elise in Sonic 06.
Yes.
Um, anyway, so
I sounded way too gleeful saying someone
I
got
know,
AIDS.
I know.
I was right. They got AIDS. Yeah.
So we've got the Deadpool Wolverine trailer.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Uh, I am now in like here's the thing. I was always kind of like because it's a modern Marvel movie. But after that trailer, yeah, I'm just I'm done being skeptical. Skeptical's not fun, you know. I'm just ready. I'm along for the ride. It looks great.
Yeah. I keep hearing questions of, oh, is it going to make $1 billion? I don't think so, especially after
No,
this trailer. I do not think so because this trailer had so many F words in it.
yeah,
Now families know what they're getting into, and you lost a lot of people are like, oh yeah, it's a new superhero movie. We'll go take the kids. That trailer being out there, you got a lot of people that are not going to show up. I'm just
yeah,
saying.
yeah. Um,
And but I think it was probably smart on Disney to say, "Hey, this is what the movie is. Don't take your kids." At
yeah.
least in that
Like
trailer.
like Fox totally wouldn't have released this trailer, and they would have taken people's money.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, Disney. I'm not going to say Disney has more morals, but they definitely are more scared of angry moms letters.
Yeah, they've got enough firefights going on right now. They don't need another one.
Yeah. Um,
And I think that the Marvel brand is so damaged right now, anyways, that they don't want something else to go wrong with the brand. So they're being very upfront. Yes, this is a very R-rated movie. You know,
um,
so
so this is definitely. So you haven't seen Logan yet, which we do have to fix.
yeah, I will definitely see it before
Yeah.
Wolverine and Deadpool.
Logan is an interpretation of Old Man Logan.
Uh
It
huh.
it basically has almost nothing to do with Old Man Logan. This almost looks like an adaptation.
It feels like, if I had to guess, they are in the, I can't remember what it's called. It's the place in Loki that's like at the end of
Yeah.
time, the
Oh yeah,
void or whatever.
definitely.
And so I think realities that have been destroyed, like pieces of those are washing up here, like the giant man corpse and stuff.
Hmm.
So I think that it's gonna be like a hodgepodge of different broken realities, like the 20th Century Fox logo and all that. I,
Teleported to the. Okay, I was just looking up that episode of Loki in season 1. Teleported to the void, a dimension
yeah,
at the end of time where everything the TVA prunes is dumped into, and from which nothing has returned.
and I don't think this Wolverine is our Wolverine.
No, no.
This is a totally
Uh,
different Wolverine, from what I can tell. Now it could be that this is the Wolverine from one of the Fox timelines that got wiped out, because they kept wiping out timelines, like, during Days of Future Past and stuff. They would change the timeline and da 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 da, and you
mhm.
weren't quite sure, which timeline the Wolverine was in, or Logan, or this or that. So I mean, it could be one of these other timelines, but I don't know. It looks like, I mean, people have been examining that Giant Man photo a lot. There's a lot of villains that definitely appear to be villains from other X-Men movies:
Yep.
Pyro, Toad, Azazel, um,
Oh yeah. That
Callisto.
when you said people think they see Azazel in that, and I went back and looked, I'm like, who else looks like a devil?
Yeah, it's like that one. Yeah, that one and Toad are pretty obvious. The others are a little
um,
bit more of a guess, but yeah,
which I am so psyched because I love the Fox interpretation of Toad. I don't know if that's like there's no way that that's a hot take because I guarantee you that people don't even think about that. Like people don't care one way or the other about the Fox interpretation
the
of Toad.
the problem. I don't think people would mind Toad if it wasn't for Storm's line where she's struck by lightning.
I love that line though because it doesn't make any sense.
I
Uh,
there.
do you know the story behind that line?
Go ahead.
So the story behind that line, because it's do you know what happens when a toad gets struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else.
Right.
Uh, so apparently that is a callback um, to because you know how Toad doesn't really say anything in that movie.
Yeah.
Apparently he had some dialogue, and his catchphrase was, "Do you know what happens when a toad da 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 da?" Uh,
Oh,
yeah, so that is leftover. That is a leftover callback to his catchphrase that they cut out.
his famous catchphrase.
His famous catchphrase.
Yeah, I see it on everybody's T-shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody loves that
Um,
catchphrase.
but yeah, that is the story behind that
Oh,
line, and that is why that line doesn't make any sense.
God.
Mm.
That doesn't surprise me. I mean, I don't think the X-Men movie was that much of a mess, but the later ones definitely were, where they were writing like Wolverine, like as they were filming it, they were still writing it and stuff, and so a lot of those later movies are a mess where they're just kind of throwing them all together.
Well, and being completely honest, that came out in the year 2000. Nobody really cared about continuity back then, even in the continuity of their own films.
Yeah.
I mean, like um, the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck.
Mhm.
If you haven't seen the director's cut, the R-rated director's cut, you actually haven't seen the actual film
Right.
because They chopped up that film. They took out, and people like, oh, they took out Coolio. No, Coolio is the main plot of the film, and they took him out.
Yeah.
If you watch the director's cut, that is the A plot, and the Elektra stuff is the B plot.
Yeah.
But not only that, they like move around scenes, and it doesn't make any sense. It's hilarious. Hey, there's my brother.
Yeah, those Fox movies are crazy, but
Yeah,
they were a necessary step to get us to the MCU. So,
and here's
especially
the
X-Men and
he-
Blade.
and
Yeah.
here's the thing. I don't know if this is overstepping it. I think that some of these are still better than some of the MC like
Uh,
X2.
yeah,
Uh,
X2.
I Blade 2, uh, Spider-Man 2,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
um, like like here's the thing. At this point, like not at this point, but like for that solid 10 years of superhero movies, we had pretty consistent quality. Um, and that's a consistent quality that we hadn't had before. But that doesn't mean that there weren't amazing movies that were coming out.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so Deadpool Wolverine, I am on board with it. And I don't know where it's going.
Yeah,
Uh,
the scene of them jumping in the Doctor Strange portal. I it would
do
be
you
funny
think?
if they
Do you
it would
think?
be it'd be funny if they ended up in the middle of Endgame, but
Yeah, that's.
I don't think that's going to happen. But it'd be really funny if it did.
Have you seen that video of Avengers Endgame where it's like where someone edited it to where it's everybody? Like
Yeah.
they got TIE fighters and
Yeah.
uh my favorite is Captain Jack Sparrow running in fear. And that's what I assumed Deadpool would be doing. He's like, what's happening? Um but yeah, and you know what's really cool? Um we haven't seen any of the Deadpool variants yet.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
we know they're coming, but we haven't seen any of them yet, and that's exciting.
Yeah, the
Oh,
movie is still the trailers have still been very vague. They're still not showing much.
so you know what I guarantee you is going to be a set piece.
Was that
The the TVA put it in the void, the island at the end of X-Men Origins Wolverine, with the nuclear reactor, and that's where they find Headpool.
probably? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see
You,
that.
you know who I really want in this movie, and I don't think he'd do it. I want Liev Schreiber to come back as Sabretooth because he was the best part about Origins.
I could see him and Tyler Mane both being Sabretooth, and it just being weird. There's two different Sabretooths, and one's talking normal and one's just growling, and it doesn't. It's
Yeah,
like, wait, aren't you me? Why can't you talk? You know?
yeah. And here's the thing, in my opinion, and I'm not going to say this is a spoiler because I'm telling you what's not in Logan. There's no Sabretooth in Logan.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so that
there's no Sabretooth in uh
Old Man
was it
Logan, yeah.
Old Man Logan or Wolverine the End. Neither of them had Sabretooth. So
Yeah, yeah, I mean
he's
it's
mentioned in Wolverine the End, but he's not in it. So
and the thing is there's a deleted scene that they shouldn't have taken out of Logan where they're at like a camp uh for mutant kids who escaped a place,
mhm.
and so Logan's asleep. And there's a kid that's actually reading the X-Men comic because in Logan, like the X-Men comics are real.
Mhm.
Um, and so this kid is like, uh, was Sabretooth real? And then he like looks off in the distance like, yeah, he was real.
Yeah.
Like, and like that, I wish they didn't take that out because that's a deleted scene, and
Do
that's a good
they?
scene.
I don't remember. Do they do the thing in the movies where Sabretooth always attacks him on his birthday?
No.
That's a fun thing in the comic books where Wolverine hates his birthday because it just means Sabretooth is going to show up and kill somebody he loves or do something every year.
I mean, we could pretend that. So here we go. Here we go. The scene where Sabretooth shows up while he's in his RV in the first film. That's his birthday. The scene where in Origins, whenever he's off like doing his lumberjack thing, and
Yeah.
Sabretooth shows up and kills his wife, that's his birthday.
Was that
So yeah,
Silver Fox? Is that who he killed?
Silver Fox, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, like, no, but yes.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, you're I don't know where you're getting this, but you're hearing rumors of Disney wanting George Lucas back.
That's been the chatter all week. I don't buy any of this. I was hearing that he might. What's the old stuff called? The New Republic or not New Republic?
The Old Republic.
Old Republic or the Jedi Order. I'm hearing something that he was supposed to, like, they're bringing in George Lucas to fix that. Actually, let me go pull up the rumor right
The
now.
High Republic.
No, not the High Republic. Hold on, give me 5 seconds, and I will.
Dawn of the Jedi.
Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start throwing stuff out. Force Unleashed.
The New Jedi Order.
New Jedi Order. Okay, gotcha. Yuuzhan Vong.
Yuuzhan Vong, yeah.
I mean, like,
Ewoks.
What? I mean, New Jedi Order is the Yuuzhan Vong stuff. So
I don't buy this because George is 80 years old. I just don't see him, and he's not in the best health. I don't see this happening. I don't see him wanting to do this either.
I'm gonna go ahead and be completely honest, okay? If I was George Lucas, even if I could do it, I wouldn't. But it's not for like the reason that you think. Because there is a high possibility that George Lucas comes back and it still sucks. And then everyone's glass is shattered and they're like, oh my God, nobody can make Star Wars the way I want them to.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how so people think that Bruce Lee is this amazing fighter, but he didn't go into any competition, so like he was never actually tested. Like, here we go. Hot take. Chuck Norris could have beat Bruce Lee in a fight. But the thing is,
how fast Bruce Lee is.
But the thing is Bruce Lee would agree with me. Thank you, Cameron. Special guest star Cameron. No. But the thing is Bruce Lee never actually, like, it's best to keep it theoretical.
No, I get it. You don't want to. Yeah, you.
And so you wouldn't want to bring back. You wouldn't want George Lucas to come back, and then it turns out that his stuff sucks too, because then what do the people have? What would the fandom menace say then? They're like, oh, George Lucas could have, he could save us. If George Lucas can't save you, then
I don't think George Lucas could save things. No, it would have to be you would have to do almost a complete reboot and bring in like some creatives like what was the Russo brothers or someone like that. Someone who could handle a franchise and just kind of rebuild everything. It would.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, unless they announce the further adventures of Luke Skywalker animated series, Star Wars is dead. It's just dead.
I think we can come up with a better name, though.
Yeah.
The further adventures of Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. No, but you know what I mean.
I know.
I it blows my mind that they don't touch the Luke Skywalker stuff or Han, and I mean you get a little bit of Han Solo and Leia. They got scared off after one Solo movie and said, "Oh, that's it. We can't touch these characters. That's not what the audience wants." And it's like,
and that's the thing is it's a good movie.
it's not. It's one of the better Disney films. Yeah.
And even then they were scared off on recasting. I thought the guy did a good job.
Well enough. Yeah.
Yeah, like so like
Anyhow, I don't want to. I don't want this to be a Disney show
oh
or
yeah, no,
Star Wars.
yeah, so but anyway, I wanted to talk about this because I thought it was an interesting rumor, and I also wanted to just put my 2 cents out there that George Lucas could not save the franchise the way that people think he could.
No.
He is not the Messiah.
No.
He is not, just like Deadpool is not Marvel Jesus, he is not Star Wars Jesus.
Yeah, as long as Disney has control of Star Wars, you can't save it. It's stuck in this system, and you're just not gonna be able to save it.
Switch 2. Magnetic Joy-Cons.
Bigger screen, more power, magnetic Joy Cons is what
I there's no way that this is a new console. There's no way. Like if this is a new console, then this is going to be the Wii U all over again.
Wii U though was way too. It was it was the same horsepower, but it was too different. Like the audience didn't understand what the Wii U was. Like that big bulky screen, it didn't comprehend it the way they comprehend the Wii. If the Switch is just small changes, then I was go, oh yeah, I get this, and oh I can play X, Y, and Z games I couldn't play before. And they fixed the Joy-Con drift. I don't. I bet the Joy-Con drift is still there. By the way.
Oh, 100%, 100%. The Joy-Con drift didn't need to be there from the beginning because it's there's a certain piece that causes it, and it has to be rubber instead of plastic, but they intentionally put plastic in there.
Yeah,
I watched a video on it. But yeah, I mean, even then, I think they need to change the name because if it is the Switch Attach, that just sounds like a Wii U to me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So I don't know. I think that we're going to. I think we're gonna hear something soon. I don't know. I don't think we're getting a Switch 2 this year, but I think we're going to hear about it probably in June, around what used to be E3 time. We'll probably start hearing stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's what do we call it now? Summer Games Fest. That's what it is.
Yeah.
The Dorito Pope is saving us. If anyone's like some sort of Jesus character, it's Jeff Keighley, because he's the Dorito Pope who's saving us from E3 and the Spike Video Game Awards.
Right.
Which is unfortunate because that means that Hideo Kojima is never going to win Game of the Year because he loves it too much. I don't know if you've heard that like Kojima is like his favorite video game developer, and that's why he gets like 20 minutes at the Video Game Awards.
Oh yeah, they're like best buds. Yeah,
but it's also why he'll never win Game of the Year because they don't want to be accused of being biased.
Yeah, but if he, I think a lot of his recent games are just weird.
Yeah. I mean, like he's kind of at that point though, where like he's like, yeah, I made Metal Gear Solid. I made Metal Gear Solid 3. Let me get weird for you now. I gave you what you wanted. Now here's what I want. And then he's
like the guy that made Katamari Damacy. Now he goes, now I'm going to get weird. I made a masterpiece. Now let's get weird. It's like, wait, what? Here's Nobi Nobi Boy or whatever it was called.
And then Kojima's like, hey, here's a walking simulator where you deliver a fetus.
Yeah. And I'm going to make a sequel to it. Yeah.
Hey, I heard you like Norman Reedus.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Why didn't they call it Norman Reedus and the Fetus? Oh, that's a great name. That's a great name. Um,
I almost said, yeah, I was about to say Norman Reedus, Yeetus the fetus.
so
Oh,
as far as news, I think that's pretty much all we had.
I had one
Uh,
more that we were going to bring up.
okay.
I keep hearing these
Oh, that's
rumors
right. Yeah.
about Kiki Palmer as Rogue. So the
I don't know
next
where it's
time,
coming from.
yeah, I don't know how official it is, but okay, yes, her voice does sound a little bit like Rogue's voice. Okay, fine. But I'm gonna start this campaign. Anytime that we get a gender swapped Silver Surfer, or if they cast Kiki Palmer as Rogue, then I'm going to start a campaign. Taylor Swift as Storm. Anytime I hear that they have, oh yeah, Rogue is Kiki Palmer, then I'm gonna say, okay, then I want Taylor Swift as Storm. And you think, oh, that's stupid, that's asinine, and I go, yes, that's correct. Just as Kiki Palmer being Rogue is stupid and asinine, so would it be if Taylor Swift was Storm.
Don't even change her name. Her name is Aurora Monroe. Oh man, that's
But yeah, anytime I hear this stupid stuff, I'm just gonna say, fine, Taylor Swift is Storm. And you're gonna say that's retarded. And I just got
what
banned from YouTube for saying that. But you know what? I don't care. I'm just getting
E.
frustrated. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm too lazy
we
to.
could pre-recorded this. We could censor that. Oh, you're too
I'm
lazy.
I'm too
Dang it.
lazy.
Ah, I think
um.
we're okay because we're 30 minutes into the video, so I think
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
okay.
Um. I definitely am curious as to where it's coming from because like it's I don't immediately hate it.
I don't hate
Uh,
it ultimately either,
yeah.
but I would still be frustrated because
Hmm.
let's face it, Anna Paquin, terrible rogue. And I think that you know we all want that classic X Men 97, whatever Rogue, and this would not be it. Now I could see this being another situation like Mr. Fantastic and Doctor Strange, where this was the fan choice, and they okay, here's a scene with this variant of Mr. Fantastic where it's what's his face,
John Krasinski. The
yeah.
difference is is I would have rather had him than Pascal.
Oh yeah, yeah. At the end of the day, I would too. But like if we get Secret Wars and there's just a bunch of different variants of characters running around everywhere, and there's a Kiki Palmer rogue from a different dimension, okay, fine. But I still want it to be
Yeah.
the main
I
rogue.
that's the I'm just really curious as to where it's coming from because like it's one of those things where like I kind of get it. Like I see where people are coming from. I just want to know where it is ultimately coming from. Um, like if it is the voice, then I don't think it has to do with Kiki Palmer sounding like Rogue. I think it has to do with Rogue's kind of just always speaking in Ebonics. you
Yeah,
know, I think that has more to do with it.
yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I don't immediately hate it, but at the same time, like
I just want
I,
things to be comic
it's
book accurate at the end of the day, and I'm tired
it's
of everything changing. And
it's a weird. If I'm being completely honest, it's just weird for me because I haven't thought about Kiki Palmer in like 10 years. Like
well, yeah, she
like
she does some game show now on like I don't think it's $1 Million Pyramid, but one of those like Sunday night game shows on ABC or whatever.
okay, yeah. The last time I thought of her was whenever she was like on
Oh,
Nickelodeon.
I
She
think she
was
does the password show, Jimmy Fallon's password show or whatever. She's the host on there.
oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's the only reason that I'm confused is because like I mean, I could bring up like, oh man, I want Gambit to be played by Nathan Kress. I want one of the Sprouse twins to play.
Sprouse twins.
I want the Sprouse twins to play Multiple Man. Uh, now that I said that, I kind of just want that. Yeah, I want that is my. You know what? If you get Storm, Taylor Swift, I want the Sprouse twins to play Multiple Man. That's what I want. Um,
I want
but yeah,
Mark Paul Gosselaar as Cyclops.
you know what though? Like in the '90s, maybe.
Yeah. AC Slater as Colossus.
That actually would have been dope. And then you got hold on. Let's go ahead. This was not planned. We're gonna Saved by the Bell cast as.
I think I've seen somebody do the X-Men as Saved by the Bell, so I feel kind of. I mean, Jesse's probably your Rogue.
I was gonna say Jesse was more like Kitty Pryde, but that's just because she was going out with Colossus, and then Slater was going out with Jesse.
Yeah.
But then again, I think Lisa is more of a Kitty Pryde character. Because she's kind of like, she's like the I don't care, I'm shopping type girl. I don't know why I snapped, but I did.
Yeah, so Tiffany Amber Thiessen, whatever.
Jean Grey.
Jean Grey? Really? Okay.
What were you gonna say?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out because I'm trying
to
think.
Here's the like if in my mind, Cyclops is like, in school, Cyclops is just kind of like the popular kid, like, Zach Morris. Tiffany Amber Thiessen is like the on and off girlfriend, like Jean Grey is.
Yeah, and I think we both agree that Screech is Nightcrawler.
Of course.
I mean, there's no other choice. Yeah. It is Nightcrawler.
And then, and then, what's her face? She was on King of Queens.
Yeah, I don't remember her character name on there. I know that Tori was added later, but that's not her. It's Mr. Belosi's daughter or something. What was it, Mr.?
Yeah, it was that like it was whenever they were doing some sort of like it was like their High School Musical 2, the summer camp thing or whatever. But no, she's like Emma Frost or Madeline Pryor, just like the other Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Yeah. Stacy Carosi, was her name?
Yeah, Stacy Carosi.
Yeah.
I'm gonna title the show "Saved by the Bell X-Men." That's that's what the.
I know. I was just trying to see if I could Google it, but I don't see it. I know I've seen fan art of Saved by the Bell as X-Men. I'm just, not quite seeing it. So, yeah, we should just do a whole show about Saved by the Bell. I'm there. It's amazing how popular Saved by the Bell was for like a long really fun time.
Because did you grow up with Saved by the Bell, or was that a past?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I grew up with High School Musical. We could do a show comparing and contrasting because they are actually both very similar.
Well, I mean, you have these weird, wholesome shows, like, and there's like one every generation. So you had like the Brady Bunch, and then it goes to Full House, then Saved by the Bell, and then iCarly, and then like High School Musical. I don't know what the modern one is, but if there is a modern one, but yeah, it seems like every generation there's one of these things that just catch on.
You know what? I don't. And here's the thing. iCarly, I do agree, very wholesome, but at the same time, Quiet on Set exists now.
I know.
Here's the thing, like, Quiet on Set just brought that stuff to the forefront. We knew about a lot of that stuff.
Oh, already. Definitely. And the thing is, that all that stuff has been going on since day one in Hollywood. This is not
Yeah,
a new thing. This
yeah.
is
Dan Schneider is not the he's not the only one.
no. It's been it is horrifying what's been, and I don't want to turn the show into one of those discussions, but it's been going on for a very very long time. As we'll see in one of the movies we're going to discuss, that yeah, there's always been corruption in Hollywood and evil stuff going on behind the scenes. We're going to talk about Late Night with the Devil here in a little bit, okay?
Okay. I was like, is that what he's talking about? Like a little
Yeah.
different, but yeah. Um, okay, so that's our news. We can check up. I don't know. You want to talk if we're talking about like good stuff recently? You want to talk Bright Eyes?
Yeah, we can start with X-Men 97. This week's episodes, we'll just go ahead and say this is going to be spoilers for X-Men 97. Um, we got the funeral for Gambit. I thought that funeral was quite amazing. Nightcrawler is just killing it on the show. The stuff he was, the Nightcrawler quotes have been so good.
Can we just appreciate the fact that in a modern Disney production, we have the most Christian Nightcrawler we've ever seen?
Yeah, and I mean, you really have to thank the original writer of X-Men animated series. They're the ones that really started that, and because they put out a crazy episode of X-Men animated series back in the day when they first
Yeah,
meet Nightcrawler.
I love
Yeah,
that. The episode's called Nightcrawler. I've always loved that episode.
yeah,
And I think it's where like I think Gambit and Rogue were involved in that. Like they went skiing or something.
yeah. Gambit and Rogue are involved. Wolverine finds God at the end, and Gambit says he doesn't want anything to do with that. He doesn't, he thinks it's all a sham. Blah blah blah. At the end of that episode, um,
Very interesting episode. It's
yeah. Um, I think it was weird that they didn't have a funeral for Magneto. It was kind of a tell, like, oh, one of these deaths is real, the other one is not. you know, I think the show there should have been some type of memorial for Magneto. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, he was their villain, but still, it seemed odd.
It's like if you don't have it. You know what it's like if your parents get divorced and you don't have a funeral for one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's strange. I think Rogue's character was amazing this episode too.
She's the best character in this whole show.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and
She's the main character.
we get chatter about Thunderbolt Ross and the Hulk. As Rogue is attacking all these government facilities looking for Henry Gyrick, and so then we get Captain America, and he was on the old X-Men animated series, so this is not the biggest revelation, but he did mention that he has a team. So
And I hope that's all we get.
I don't want the Avengers to show up on the final episode to save the day. Now, if you want to do an X-Men versus Avengers animated season somewhere down the road,
I'd be down with that.
but I don't. Yeah, I don't want them here. Um,
Can we agree the best line in the whole in the whole episode is whenever Captain America's like, "Listen, my hands are tied right now," and then she says, "Oh, then you won't be needing this," and then she just throws his shield.
I don't know. I think Wolverine may have had the best line of the show where he said that what was it? Grief is always a solo battle, or what? I can't remember what he said. It was something like that.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
Jubilee.
So what you're saying is more of a meaningful. Mine's more of a funny one.
Yeah, yeah,
But very both very good lines.
yeah. And then Nightcrawler's whole, Gambit was bluffing the whole time. That his tail
Yeah,
was his modesty and all that. Oh,
yeah.
it's so good. This show continues to amaze me that Disney put this out. Like,
And
this is really good.
it also concerns me that they got rid of the writer.
It definitely does. It's almost like it feels like Mandalorian when John Favreau was on fire and they fired Gina Carano and just blew up all his plans. It almost
Yeah,
feels like that.
yeah.
Um, so we see that White Queen was discovered at Genosha,
Hmm.
which is we've both been saying that's she's going to be showing up again.
Yep.
She's going to be joining the team very soon. It feels like. Um, so that's fun. Let's see what else. So we get the confrontation between Rogue and Gyrick, where she absorbs his memories. Then she wakes up mysteriously in an alleyway. What do you make of that? That there's all of a sudden this time jump and she's in the alleyway. You don't quite know what happened.
I am wondering if Gyrick has like I'm wondering if there's a one of us, one of them thing going on. For those of you who don't know what that's from the show Heroes, um, where the government was hunting people with abilities, but they had the company had this rule, one of us, one of them, where one of the agents was human, one agent was somebody with abilities, and so Noah Bennett's partner was the Haitian who could, take memories.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm wondering if Gyrick has a one of them on his side.
I don't know. I When she saw Nimrod and Bastion in the vision when she touched him, I don't know if it was too much for her mind to handle, and they just threw her out in the road or what. I do think that Gyrick is now his thoughts are affecting her because she later throws Trask off the building. I think that's part of Gyrick being in her head, and why she's starting to lose control and stuff. Uh, this episode reminded me how cool Operation Zero Tolerance was. Just the idea that any human anywhere could be a sentinel at any time, and
Yeah.
it's terrifying because they're like really really powerful. So that's fun. Cable showing up was fun. Is just like we don't have time for a reunion. Yeah, you're my dad. Let's go. It's just kind
Mhm.
of let's get going here. Um, it feels like Jean has probably absorbed Maddie's memories when Maddie died, when Madeline Pryor died, because she's like she remembered the conversation about the eyes and stuff when she saw Cable. So I wonder if we'll get more info into that. And then the big revelation that Bastion has Magneto tied up and
Mhm.
is plotting something with him. So I thought great episode. I mean, it's not as good as the Gambit episode, but this was still a pretty strong episode.
So I think I'm at the point where I think, and obviously Ryder got fired, who knows, but at this point, I definitely think we're getting closer to Morrison.
Yes. Yo,
So
yeah, the Emma being found alive, and yeah, I definitely agree with you. It's gonna be some type of combination of a lot of different stories. Like they brought up Mutant Massacre this episode. They brought up, so I think they're pulling from a lot of different crossovers.
yeah, essentially mutant genocide has happened a couple times in the comic books, and they're just putting it all into one story.
Yeah, yeah, which I think is cool because you don't want to do this every season. Like, oh,
Right?
it
Yeah.
happened again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Um, yeah. Just go like give us the mutant genocide, and then one season of like the recovery, and then season 3 is like Messiah Complex,
yeah, yeah, I can see that.
and then season 4 Avengers versus X-Men.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying Cyclops on the show.
I mean, it's so weird that he's like a character.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you give him like feelings and stuff to
Yeah.
do and
I
uh,
mean that's the thing. Like one of two things that they should do. And I genuinely believe this. I think that whenever you do an X-Men movie, and I know this might be a hot take as well. What else is new? Um, you have to have one of them be your main character. Like I know people are like, oh my god, Wolverine's the main character of the X-Men movies. Might as well call them the Wolverine movies with the X-Men. Whenever you have an ensemble like that, you kind of have to have a main character, um, unless everyone else has their own individual movies. And so whenever they do the X-Men movies, Cyclops, I think Cyclops has to be the main character, like
Yeah.
the viewpoint character. That or Kitty Pryde, one of those two. Depending on what you're doing. So like if you're doing the First Class, you know, with like Beast and Iceman and all, and then that's Cyclops. Um, if you want to bring in people like Storm and Colossus and all that, then Kitty Pryde is your, you know,
Yeah,
viewpoint.
we'll see how they. There's so many questions about how they're going to handle that. So, um, but yeah, we got 3 episodes left. OZT is Operation Zero Tolerance, if you didn't know,
Mhm.
and we are. I think it's interesting that Val Cooper's still missing. That's mysterious. Um,
Think she's gonna come out of nowhere and be Cassandra Nova?
I feel like Mystique is way more. We haven't seen Mystique at all. I feel like she's probably hiding in plain sight.
Yeah,
Someone
that's true.
pointed out that she was there, and when the attack happens, everywhere she told mutants to run to, they all got killed. Like she was directing mutants to like, oh, go over here, go over there, just to watch them die. I don't know. I don't know if I buy that, but it is interesting. So, um, yeah. So X-Men 97. We'll probably be talking about this again next week.
Yeah.
So
Are we getting so the next three, the finale's a 3-parter? Are we getting them all at the same time, or is that once a week still?
I think it's still once a week. I haven't heard anything different. So,
Okay.
so let's move on to another discussion. Let's go ahead and talk Shogun real quick.
Yeah, because I don't have anything to say about Shogun because I haven't seen it.
So I'm not going to do hardcore spoilers. I will say this: I don't, I don't think this is like the worst spoiler in the world. The show hypes up a final battle like throughout the series. Like, oh my gosh, this final battle, final battle, final battle. There is no final battle at the end. Um, I won't say what happens, but if you're going into the final episode going, okay, where's the final battle? You're gonna be disappointed.
Well, is it a disappointment? Like, does it feel like um does it feel?
Say that again. You broke up when you said that.
No, I muted myself on purpose because that was me censoring myself.
Oh, okay.
Does it feel like uh um cerulean spheres? Does it feel like uh indigo round things? Does it feel like
Oh, blue things. Yeah. I got you. I got you. No. The episode before, like I think it's 10 episode series. Episode 9 is fantastic. Um, the girl that plays Lady Mariko, I don't know her name. She deserves an Emmy. She is fantastic, and so I think you do get, building up to episode 10. There's plenty of action, um, but I think at the end of the day, that's not really what the story's about. You kind of realize like, oh, this story's about I can't think of his name, Cosmo Jarvis, whatever. Oh, Blackthorn. This is about Blackthorn and him accepting that this is his home now, and kind of accepting that these are his people now, and he will live or die for these people. So I think that's kind of the point to the end of the story. I think that there is, you know, they keep talking about the Crimson Sky, this attack that's coming, the Crimson Sky, and
The Fire Nation attacking.
you kind of realize that that's a mislead. I don't, like I said, I don't want to get too much into spoilers, but you kind of realize that Tarango, I think is his name, Tarango, the main guy. He's kind of, you never quite know what he's thinking. He's kind of like it's almost like he's playing chess. And you don't quite know what he's moving pieces here and there. He's sacrificing all these people.
So is he the main character? So is it more like an unreliable narrator type thing without the narration?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, yeah. And then you kind of realize, oh, that's what he's been doing this whole time, And yeah, you never quite know what he's thinking until the end. And he's a good dude, but he's very manipulative. And he's going to sacrifice a lot of people to avoid a much bigger conflict where we're gonna have thousands die. So if I could avoid a war where I lose 10 people, I'd rather do that than lose thousands and lose all of Japan in the process. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Without getting too much into spoilers, although I feel like maybe I said too much, but
No, I don't.
that's
I gotta be honest. Like without the context, I actually just have no idea what you're talking about.
that's fine. That's fine.
No, that's good. Like because it means that it like whatever it is that you're saying isn't really gonna stick with me without context. So I
Yeah.
get to go in without.
This show is very intense because every week you're just like, what is going to happen? Who's going to die? Because they're such honorable people that someone's going to just commit seppuku at the drop of a hat out of nowhere. And you're just like, whoa, what? And it's so, yeah, it's such a, I was going to say foreign, it's such a world that you're not used to. And to them, oh yeah, this is normal, commit seppuku, whatever. And to us, it's just like, what are you doing? And so you get that from Blackthorn, he's reacting to all this stuff, and it's really interesting. I love this show. I thought it was great. My only complaint is, it felt like we were building to a final battle, and then it's like, we're gonna do something different.
I think FX is at the point where do you remember whenever AMC was like all that and like if you wanted to watch a good shows, AMC is the way to go. I think FX is kind of taking that over because you got The Bear, Atlanta, Shogun. You had Legion on FX at one point.
Oh yeah.
We're getting the Alien. Oh, okay. I meant to bring that up, but I didn't send it to you. The Alien prequel. You know what? We're talking about FX, and I don't have a whole lot to talk about Shogun, so I'll go ahead and bring that up. So Noah Hawley, who did Legion and Fargo, which Fargo is another show on FX that everyone loves. He's doing an Alien prequel, right?
I had not heard that. No.
Oh, okay. So he's doing an Alien prequel. But it takes place on Earth, and it's about Weyland Yutani creating the first android.
Mm-hmm.
So that's coming out soon, and I'm excited about that. Takes place before Prometheus and all that, so very interesting. And it's Noah Hawley, who is phenomenal whenever it comes to making shows.
Yeah. I still love Legion. I wasn't crazy about how it ended, but I still think that show was phenomenal.
Oh yeah, I think Legion. Oh, if we're talking about the best X-Men show, I might go ahead and put Legion there.
Yeah. There's so many weird things in Legion and so many red herrings throughout the episodes. Like I think it's like the first episode. I must say it was, and it's been a while. I don't remember the names of the characters. His girlfriend, basically, when she walks into the room, she had no feet below the bed or something. So I kept going, "Oh, she's not real. She's imaginary or whatever." There's so many weird things you start theorizing about. And Audrey Plaza just killed it on that show.
She's phenomenal. Audrey Plaza and Waititi's best friend. I can't think of his name, but the Oliver.
Um, the one that's the Fly of the Concords guy.
I think so. Like he,
Yeah.
like he,
Jermaine
yeah. Jermaine Harris, or no,
Clement.
Jermaine Clement. Yeah, Jermaine
Yeah,
Clement.
yeah,
He was great.
yeah. And Gene Smart was great in it. Yeah. That show's really good.
Let's see. And looking at, I was looking this up because you got. I remember his girlfriend couldn't touch people. I couldn't remember why. It's because she trades she mind trades with people that she touches. Um, and I'm like, oh, that they definitely wanted to use Rogue for that. But
I'm glad they didn't use Rogue for that. Like,
yeah,
I think it's more interesting. Just real quick, getting back to Shogun, I was going to just bring this up real quick. Yeah, Toto Mariko's the character. She is awesome on this show. She is such a good actress. Anna, what's her Anna Sawai is who's the actress name is, and then she's really good. Like I want to go back and find some other shows that she's been on because she's just really good on Shogun. So just a great show. Um, yeah, just don't expect a major battle at the end, and I think you're fine. I went back and looked at the '80s miniseries. It ends the exact same way. The book ends the exact same way. So it's
that is the show.
That is the book. Yeah. So, all right. Any shows you wanted to talk about before we get to Late Night with the Devil, or
so we would neither of us have watched Knuckles, but apparently it's very good.
my son was saying that he heard it's a lot about the human character Wade, but that's kind of how the Sonic movies have been. They've all really focused a lot on the human characters. So
the thing is, I love the guy that they get to play that character.
Yeah.
He was he was Gary in Iron Man 3, the Tony Stark super fan. And like I said, it's about a bowling tournament.
Yeah.
That's the show.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, I'm excited to watch it. And I'm excited to see what we get more. It's kind of weird that like the Sonic live action stuff is better than the Mario movie, and that's weird to say.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I don't think the Mario movie's bad. It could have been a lot better though if they had just put, I call it the Pixar moments, a little bit more character storytelling, and a little bit more, making you really care about Mario and Luigi. It could have been a stronger movie. But yeah, I don't think the Mario movie was as good as the Sonic movies. I'll say that.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't think we have too much else to say about Knuckles. So let's talk about Late Night with the Devil. I think we'll do this two ways. We'll do it a non-spoiler talk about it. Okay. And then if people want to hop off, then we'll do the spoilers.
Can I be honest though?
Yeah.
My only non-spoiler thing is this is a phenomenal movie, and I need you to go watch this without even watching a trailer. Because that's what I did. I didn't know anything about this going into it. Like I didn't see any trailers.
This is on Shudder right now. So if you have Shudder, you can watch this.
Yeah,
it stars David. I don't remember how to say his last name. The guy from Ant-Man and Dark Knight and all those movies. He's usually a side character. This is the first movie I've ever seen him be in a starring role.
He was a Polka Dot Man.
Oh yeah, Polka Dot Man. I always forget that he is Polka Dot Man in Suicide Squad.
David Malshan.
Yeah. He is great. He is great in this. I'll say that. the girl playing Lily is great in this.
Desmalchin, that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Desmalchin. David Desmalchin.
Yeah, I gotta say
Uh,
he's great in this. The girl playing Lily is great in this. She played Matilda in the Matilda musicals. I think that's
yeah,
funny that she's now playing this
yeah.
character.
Um,
Um,
I thought that the guy who played the skeptic
uh-huh.
was phenomenal, and I hated him, and it was great.
Isn't he from the Matrix movies or something?
Uh
He has something to do with Matrix, either the video games or the movie.
he was the oh my god. Okay, okay. So he's the guy who they cast as the real life Agent Smith because he has a really good Hugo Weaving impression.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't even recognize it because he's got the mustache.
yeah,
That's so sick.
yeah. And then I think most of the rest of the cast is all Australian actors that I wasn't familiar with. I was looking up everybody in this movie. Um, but yeah, if you like late night talk shows or
That's really what it comes down to. Like if you're fascinated by the rivalry between um, David Letterman and Jay Leno, this is up your
yeah,
alley.
yeah,
Um,
I'd really like someone like Conan O'Brien to watch this movie and they get their impressions of this movie.
yeah,
All right, so I think I highly recommend this movie too. This is one of my favorite
this
horror films I've seen in years.
yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
will tell you, I will say this: it's not scary. It's not a scary movie. It's
no.
disturbing. I think some of it's disturbing. There is a gross out scene, but if you're like worried about jump scares, don't be. This is not that kind of movie.
I
It
will
does,
say I think I have a fear of worms now.
yeah, yeah. I'm a little grossed out by worms. Um, it does deal with demons and cults. So if you don't like that stuff, then yeah, this is probably not up your alley. But I love this movie. So
Yeah, it was great.
okay, so
Spoilers.
yeah, this is your spoiler warning. Go watch the film and then come back and watch our discussion. Um, yeah, us get this out of the way real quick. There was complaints about AI used in the movie. Who cares? Some of
Where
the mid credit like little pictures of the skeleton and stuff that would pop up. Some of those were done by AI, and some people freaked out over that. It's so
the
stupid.
mid credit? What do you? I don't know what
Like
you're
the
talking.
commercial breaks where like the little pictures pop up. It's like we'll be right back. It's like a picture of an owl or a skeleton or whatever. When it would say we'll be right back when he goes to commercial
Yeah,
breaks and we're back. Like some of
it's
those were AI generated pictures and people lost their minds over that.
who cares?
Exactly. Thank you. They were like, yeah, we did the initial drawings in AI and then we improved them. We added to it.
I mean, that's what AI is for. Like
Yeah.
that is legitimately what AI should be used for. Is
Yeah.
it's like is a jumping off point and improving it. Like
Yeah. So people are so sensitive when you say the word AI. So I just want to get that out of the way. Yes, we know there's an AI controversy. We don't care.
yeah,
Moving on. Um, I have watched so many reaction videos now of this movie. I've technically seen this movie several times now.
I just watched it last night.
Yeah, yeah. It starts out with like I thought the beginning part's really cool where they're just telling about his life. It's like
Yeah,
kind of like
yeah.
a quick documentary, like here's this, and they tell you everything you need to know, and it feels like it's a real show that was on the '70s. Um, his his desire to be Johnny Carson and him never being able to beat Johnny Carson. His the story of his love story about his wife and how she dies of cancer. I mean,
Her
they
well, no, a non-smoker gets lung cancer.
yeah,
That's
yeah. And then just all of a sudden they start talking about, and then there's this grove where a cult's happening. You're like, okay, where are we going? What is happening? And that's based on a very real Bohemian Grove where powerful people meet. That's a real thing. So, were you aware of that? That's a real thing. That grove.
uh I've heard of it. It didn't like
It didn't click that that's what they're
yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um
So,
but I it is a very it's this is such a weird movie. So here's the thing. At first, I'm like, okay, so this is kind of like a found footage film. Okay, that's kind of cool, but it's kind of not.
Yeah, it kind of breaks its rules, especially towards the end. But
Well, not just that. Like, I think that I wouldn't even call this found footage. I would call this the first ever um big budget, and by big budget, I don't mean like it's not a huge budget, but it's a bigger budget than this has ever gotten. This is a big budget analog horror film.
oh, absolutely, this is
Like it,
definitely an analog horror film, and that's I do like watching Wendigoon, and he watches a lot of analog horror, and I recommend this to him.
yeah,
I was like, you need to watch this. This is analog horror on the big
that's
screen.
so Cameron didn't watch it with me last night. I wanted him to, but he didn't want to watch it last night.
Mhm.
And I wanted to make sure that I watched it before the show. Um, and he's like, I was kind of describing to him kind of what it was. I didn't get into like many spoilers or anything, but I was
Yeah,
just kind of like, this is kind of like an analog horror film. He's like, do you think Wendigoon's gonna do anything about it? And I was like, I don't know.
I recommended it to him, so it's in his court. I hope so. He gets a little skittish sometimes when it's demon stuff, so we'll see. But yeah. So the guests that they had on the show were based on real guests that were on Johnny Carson. They'd had the skeptic guy on there all the time. They would have the amazing Kreskin on there all the time that would do the readings and all that. So I thought that was really cool how they were, and that's right before the Satanic Panic really gripped the nation in the '80s. So you had a lot of this stuff going on.
It's cool to think about like in this universe, he caused the Satanic Panic.
Oh, definitely. Well, here's the thing: is that would have been broadcast once. People really didn't have VCRs back then, so this would have been like did that happen? Oh yeah, I saw it. I remember that. And they're like, did you see the worms? Oh, I watched it. I didn't see the worm. There would be all these rumors and urban legends about what happened that night. So um,
What do you think happened at the end there? Like
I
with
think
and by that I mean, was the demon trying to like escape through
yes.
people's TVs?
Well, that, and also he wanted to be released from the vessel that was. I just said her name. What was the little
Lily.
girl's Lily? So I think that if you watch when the skeptic is hypnotizing everybody, it doesn't work on the demon. She's sitting here laughing on why is he acting silly and stuff. It's
Yeah.
because, but she's also learning how to hypnotize people when that happens. So then she puts the host in a hypnotic trance, and that's when he has all the weird visions about being stuck in a loop on the show. And then she tricks him into stabbing her, so she'll be free of the vessel. The demon will be free, and will complete what was supposed to happen at the cult when they were all supposed to die. She survived, so that kind of ruined Abraxas's plans. So, but now he's escaped through the TV and everything. And what's fun is that the Jack realizes that, oh, that was a hypnotic vision, and he's trying to get out of it. But no, this is reality. You really did stab Lily, because he keeps saying "dream her awake" at the end. Like he's trying
Right.
to snap himself out of the hypnotic thing, and it's like, oh no, this is real. They're all dead. This is reality. Um, a lot of people didn't understand the ending because
I kind of got it. Like
yeah,
there definitely was a point. Like I think it was about the time that uh she said, Jack, we've met before. That's kind of whenever I figured it out.
yeah, that
Um,
he sold his soul to have a night of ratings higher than Johnny Carson.
no, that he
He sacrificed her
Yeah,
also. Yeah.
that he's that because I mean that's the whole thing is the smoker get the
Yeah.
non-smoker gets lung cancer.
Yeah.
He definitely sacrificed. And I don't think he sacrificed his soul. I think he just
Oh no,
sacrificed.
no. I misspoke. He
Oh
sacrificed her.
yeah,
I keep thinking of the Bible verse. Was the prophet man that gained the whole world but loses souls? Well, I kept
yeah,
thinking through the whole time. So yeah. I'm
yeah.
just misspeaking there. But um, also wanted to point out. Oh, I lost the thought.
What you know? What? Let's. No, no, no. Do you have your thought or?
No, it's gone. Go ahead.
Okay, okay. Uh, just let's move on from the actual horror elements for a second, and let's just talk about all the references to just late night television.
Oh yeah.
What did you think of Gus, uh, the Max Weinberg?
I loved Gus, and I was like,
Yeah,
please survive, please survive. And then when he did,
uh,
and I was so disappointed.
you had to know none of these people were surviving.
Oh yeah. I mean, they kept foreshadowing it, like, oh, your head's gonna spin all around. Everybody's heads
Yeah,
are gonna spin around, and yeah. The only one that kind of surprised me was the sleazy producer guy survived,
yeah. I mean, like he was barely a person though.
but I almost feel like was he like was he just a scumbag or was he something more? Was he
I,
like
you know what it is? It depends on what you think as far as here's my question because this is my theory. Do you think the studio audience was all in on it?
no? I think there were some. The skeleton was definitely in on it, but I think the skeleton was like death itself was there.
So the reason I ask is because like I was wondering if uh like the studio audience were all like
Cult members and
yeah
or a part of
cult
the Grove or whatever.
yeah because that's what came that's what happened that's what I thought.
The vision at the end where he's before the owl and all that, and drinking the cup. Yeah, you see like members of the studio audience there, but I think it's just the demon is using them because that's what it has there in the studio to pull from. I don't know if they. I don't think they were physically. I don't think that's the same people that were there when that ceremony happened or whatever.
I'll go ahead and put it out like this that I do think that that's what it was. I'm gonna go ahead and just
Okay,
throw my hat in there, and I think that Leo, who's the sleazy guy, I think he was a leader in their cult, and
okay.
he keeps pushing to like no we got to do this, we got to do this.
I kind of I could see that. I kind of think he's just a sleaze bag. I just
Okay.
think he's a scummy Hollywood guy.
Yeah. I mean, like either way.
Yeah. I remember what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Minnie is everywhere in this movie. Her
Yes.
reflections are all throughout the
Yeah.
movie. She's in
100%.
mirrors. She's in TV screens. If you pay attention, she's everywhere constantly. And they just pick her up that one time on camera. But yeah, she's everywhere. I think she's just there because she knows that this is when he's going to pay his price. And
Hmm.
she's just there to try to comfort him or whatever. And this time, like when she has her hand on his shoulder, or is she just upset that
That's how I took it.
I think
I,
it could be a combination of the two that she still cares for him, but she's also like, you're getting your comeuppance,
yeah.
you know?
Um. You know what else I liked about this movie? I liked that this is kind of like a oh so it's like a found footage film, but it's also an analog horror, but uh it's also like 24 where it all takes place in real time.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
like 93 minutes. That's pretty much how long a talk show
yeah,
is, you know?
yeah. And you get all the commercial breaks. They show you what's happening behind the scenes. And I just thought this movie was just amazing. The way it was put together. It was so well done. And like I said, it's not scary. You don't need jump scares to tell a good story.
Yep. Now there are a couple like, you know, like whenever Lily is like, you know, strapped to the chair and,
Yeah,
you know, all of a sudden kind of like jerks a little bit. I wouldn't call it a jump scare, but there's definitely some suspense and like
it's tense, but
it'll make you jump a little bit if you're not
yeah,
looking
but
for it.
it's not like typical jump scares. This I don't usually do scary movies. This was perfect for me. This is like the ideal scary movie for me. This is it.
Um, did you ever? Because there was a part of me that was like, is the skeptic like the cult leader? Like there was a part of me that was like, is the skeptic like behind all this? Like I didn't know if that was gonna be the like the twist or something. Did you ever have that?
No, I thought the twist at one moment could be that this is all just a show, that Jack really is just putting on the greatest show ever. And but I guess you have that thought at the beginning, but then when the one guy dies,
Yeah,
it's kind of a shock that okay, yeah, something's going on here.
I definitely there was one thing that like I thought they were gonna go somewhere with it, and so like they're like, you know, Chris, you died. Don't tell anyone.
Hmm.
Um, and then Gus tells the skeptic.
Yeah,
I thought they were gonna go somewhere with that,
yeah,
because like whenever he got him all set up, like Gus, do you want to come over here and you know, and he hypnotizes Gus. I thought that's where the hat was gonna drop, and is like, did Christu really die? And he's like, yes, or something like that. You know,
yeah, yeah.
like I thought they were gonna do something with that.
I don't know. I just Lily is such a good. I'll bring her up again. She's
She's
such a good
great.
actress.
She's
Her
great.
staring at the camera is so unnerving, and she does it several times. It's so good, and
I also love this isn't how it's supposed to go. This isn't how it's supposed to go. And then Jack turns to the camera, and like there are no cameras. This is him in his own mind, and he looks at the camera and goes,
yes,
"This
yes,
isn't this isn't how it was supposed to go." Like,
yeah, it's so good. I this will
I gotta be honest. Like, I definitely wanted to watch this before the show.
uh huh.
I wish I'd watched this with people. I'm kind of disappointed in myself.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
wish I'd
I'm
watched
I'm
this with
trying to
people.
get my family to watch it. I haven't got them yet to watch it because I'm like, this is really good.
Yeah,
Um, this will be on my best of list at the end of the year. I can't think of anything
probably.
else that's gonna knock
Yeah,
this off the list.
like
Uh,
even if they're because I we can agree that I'm the horror movie nut of the
yeah, yeah,
show.
yeah, sure, yeah,
Even if there are better horror movies this year, um, this is such a creative way to present one.
yeah, yeah. I mean, this is not like new ground here of demon possession, this, that, whatever. But it's just the setting and stuff is so clever and it's so well done. It feels like you are looking at a TV set from the 70s, like the stage, the setting. Um, yeah, I just think this movie's just great.
And the thing that is very unfortunate is because this is something on Shutter. Um, like word of mouth is definitely the name of the game with this movie. Um,
Well, it was in theaters. It was in theaters for a couple weeks, but it didn't make a whole lot of money. It was so
y-
small.
you know what though? I actually don't think I would have liked this in theaters. I think part of this is you got to watch this in your living room as if you are watching a late night television show.
I agreed. I
Yeah,
think it plays better on TV. Yep.
yeah. Um, but the real unfortunate thing is this is something that like should uh shoot David Desmalchin's career up
Yeah.
into the stratosphere, and I don't think it's going to. Like,
He's so good in this movie. He
Yeah.
is really good.
I want him to get like some more starring roles. Because I mean, like he plays a lot of bit roles. Even before this, I would say his most prominent role was Polka Dot Man.
Yeah.
um,
That I've seen him in. Yeah.
and then like so he was on he's been on some TV, like he was a bad guy in Gotham.
Mhm.
Um, he was Abracadabra in The Flash. Um, and then he plays bit roles in everything else.
I love when Lily says abracadabra that sets him on fire.
Yeah.
He's like, "You want the check?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so good. And that effect when her head splits apart is so
That was
good.
so cool. With where she's like being pulled apart by the cameras.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cool. What a cool movie. I really like
Yeah.
this movie a lot.
Here's my question. Like, do you think? Because this is what I think. Okay, I think Christo was a fraud, and Minnie was the first actual spirit he ever really felt.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's
that
kind of like
like
the
even the whole Edwin thing with like your son killed himself, blah
oh
blah blah.
yeah, that's
Like
that's that's a common thing that those cold
yeah,
call people do is they have people question them before the show, and so it's all rigged.
yeah.
Um,
But so the Minnie thing is the first thing he ever felt.
she reminds me of, or he reminds me of Lady Trelawney or whatever from Harry Potter, where she only had like one real vision and everything else is bullcrap. The
Yeah,
divinations teacher.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I really don't
This
have
is
any
great.
complaints about the movie. I can't think of anything. I'm like, oh, that could have
No,
been
no,
that bad.
no. And even whenever I said I thought they were gonna go this way, that's not me complaining. I'm just saying that was my mindset when
Oh
watching it.
yeah.
Um, yeah. I mean, this is
And the movie doesn't quite spell everything out for you, which makes it fun too, because you're like speculating, oh, well, what does this mean? What did that mean? And
if it spelled something out for us, we wouldn't be talking about it. Like,
yeah. like my theory that she hypnotized him. I could be completely wrong. That final vision.
we already disagree on who was in on it.
Yeah.
Because I'm in the camp that the audience was in on it. Oh no, you know what would have been dope though?
What's that?
If the audience was in on it, uh, then the people who were talking about their uh
Little
uh
brother.
their brother or son, that could have been total bullcrap.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Now I want that to be what it is.
Yeah. There was a theory at that ending scene that maybe he was stuck in a purgatory loop forever now, like he would always be doing the talk show forever.
That's what I thought at first.
Yeah.
I think the police sirens kind of like shut that down.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
once he snaps out of it and he has stabbed Lily, then yeah, the vision's over because Lily's
yeah.
dead. And the sirens are coming and he's like, it's kind of like, oh crap, how do I explain this?
Yeah.
There is no explaining this. I'm going to jail.
I think him going to jail depends on who was in on it.
Yeah.
Because like let's say I think if Leo is a sleazebag and not a part of the cult, I don't think he's going to jail. But if he's a part of the cult, then Jack's going to jail.
I think either way he's going to jail. Even if he's a sleazebag, he's going to say, "Oh, this was all Jack's idea. I kept telling him not to do the show, and da 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 da." And he wanted ratings. He just kept getting more and more extreme, and then this is what happened. And da 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 da.
Yeah, but like, it's the it's the greatest. It's the highest ratings of all time. Why would you throw your guy in jail after that? Like,
Yeah, but it was a different time. Now I think celebs could get away with stuff like this. The 70s, he would have went to jail.
oh no, you know what would be dope though? And this is interesting because OJ just died. Not only do you get ratings for this show, but like the trial of Jack Delroy. Like, that would be so interesting.
That would.
That
I don't want a sequel, but I kind of want to see that sequel, The Trial of Jack Delroy.
right? No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like that would be so. And here's the thing: you do it the same way. You know,
Yeah,
just court cam footage. And that would be so interesting. Um, and then we'd have to like the occult would have to show up at some point in the courtroom.
yeah. The judge turns into an owl halfway through. He's like, no
Yeah.
vision. We'll have to mention that the BBC did a similar show before. I think in the 80s, Ghostwatch. A lot of people bring that up when they talk about this movie. So if you don't know what Ghostwatch is, you might go look that up. Uh,
I had not heard of it until you mentioned it, and then I just looked it up.
Yeah, it was a broadcast where many people thought it was real and about a demon, and people freaked out. Someone committed suicide over it. No, another word I can't say on YouTube. Someone unalived themselves, I should have said. Um, but yeah, uh, it was again that you're talking about the satanic panic of the 80s. This was another thing that contributed to that.
This
So
kind of looks like Blair Witch.
yeah, it was kind of one of the forerunners. Yeah. Does it say what year it came out?
92.
Oh, it was 92. I didn't know it was that late. Okay. It's amazing how much our culture has changed since then. Um,
Well, you got
because
to
you
think
had
about the
people
fact that that's
freaking out. That's pre-internet. I mean, that's right when internet's just now starting to
well,
spread.
and it's also like you say, it's amazing how fast that's over 30 years ago.
Yeah, but still,
Yeah.
if you watch like the videos of like the talk shows at the time, people reacting to that, and then if it happened today, nobody would care.
The thing is, I think that like you know what it is, and I don't want to get too political, but this is just an interesting idea. Like we are not talking about the politics of this at all. Okay, I just want to mention this. Imagine if January 6th was like Ghostwatch or something. You know, like the at the Capitol. You know,
Yeah, the capital stuff. Yeah.
imagine if all of that was just like
A TV production.
a TV production.
Yeah.
Uh,
You know
like
what scares me? Again, we don't want to get into politics. Is when we get to late October, early November, someone could just whip up AI of people of Biden or Trump just saying whatever, and people won't have time to realize this is fake.
yeah,
And you could really manipulate the election, people not knowing what they're looking at, and
yeah.
really cause chaos.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you saw the news, like a PE coach was trying to get the principal fired by making an AI video of the person saying racist stuff. And they ended up figuring out that it was the PE coach and they arrested him, whatever. But it took a
The,
while to figure it
the,
out.
here's the thing. Even if AI is not good enough to stand up in court, it's still scary that like it it was attempted.
Right. And they'll do those what they call them, November surprises, October surprises, where they'll drop some news story like, oh, George W. Bush had a DUI, and they tried to, like they dropped it like right before the election. what if a bunch of AI stuff just drops right before the election and people are like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know that about so and so," and it's we're entering a really weird world.
You know what though? It's it's almost. Ooh, we're getting into politics. It's almost like I could see that as a good thing because at this point, you wouldn't know what to believe a person said. Then the only reliable source would be a person's political stances rather than their character. Because their character will come into question because you don't know if it's AI or not. So you just have to go by their political stances, which is how an election should be.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time,
Yeah. No, still terrifying. Still terrifying. Um, but yeah. But then when you do AI, you get something like Late Night with the Devil, and it's great, and I don't care that it's AI.
yeah, I yeah, I just think that I don't know. I saw a video of, and this kid was obviously a moron. Someone getting fooled by some YouTube influencer that obviously was not that person. It's like the Mr. Beast ad you see where it's him with an AI voice, saying blah 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 blah, and someone's just using Mr. Beast's image,
Hmm.
and people are falling for it, and it's just scary. If that mild attempt is already fooling people, imagine if the attempts get better. You know, I don't know. So
Well, cool. Man, we took this in a downer way.
yeah, that's what happens when Tripping Orc isn't here to help us out.
I know. He's here
Keep
right
us.
now with us,
Oh,
technically.
that's right. Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
He is
he
here.
is with us. um. Anyway, but no. This was a great movie. I'm glad I went into it. I hadn't even seen any sort of like trailer or anything like that.
Yeah.
It is finished. It is done.
What is that? What the screen said at the end? I can't remember what it said. Did you notice that it says "end
Oh,
transmission"? It changed to something else.
so it is done.
So it is done. Oh, it'd been better if I got the quote right. Oh well.
Um, yeah, very, very, very interesting film. Um, I don't know. I think that's all I needed to talk about today.
Yeah, yeah. There we go.
So it's um,
Yeah. So next week, I don't know what our show is. I always say is at the end of every week. I don't know what our next week's show is.
it's
I've
good.
been thinking about.
We haven't had a planning session in a while. We
Yeah,
have all these ideas, but we just haven't like sat down and like done stuff.
I'd like to do a show about superheroes that we can't stand that are like popular, but
I mean, like that would get me in trouble because I'd talk about the big three. I just have like I'm sick of Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor.
yeah, be close to my list. So, um, all right. So next week we should be back to being live. So hopefully you'll join us then. But until next time, I've been Final Monkey.
And I'm Caleb.
We'll catch you next time in the Shark Pond.
See ya.